Johnny McDonough.
Peoples, what's going on, man? It's your boy Mike. It's late. It's like 12 o'clock in the morning. Um, and I couldn't really sleep. Took a nap after church, and now I'm just like up. So I wanted to take the time to kind of talk a little bit about a subject that I've touched on before in previous videos, and it's in my book, Best Friends, that my wife and I wrote. There's a chapter on sex, and I wanted to just come and talk to you guys a little bit about what sex means from a marital context, because I think that so many times sex has been talked about in such taboo ways. You're not supposed to do this, you can't do that. If you do this, you're going to hell. If you do that, Jesus is going to strike you dead while you're doing it. So I kind of want to veer away from that ideology that, you know, sex is bad, because it's not. It's not bad. And I think that that's what really hinders a lot of your, if you're married, sometimes your perception of sex will hinder your sex life with your spouse, and in turn it kind of makes it to where it's not something that you guys can actually enjoy, and it becomes more of a task rather than an enjoyable experience. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit. um, for my Bible readers, those who read the Bible, you are a Christian or you profess to be a believer of Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, specifically verse 5. Um, and I'm not going to read it verbatim, read it on your own leisure. But it basically says, do not deprive each other. And that depriving that they're talking about is sex. Do not deprive each other, except for a period of time for prayer and fasting, and then you reconnect with one another, so that you don't be tempted. Um, and I think that's very important to understand. But I also think it's very important to understand it from this angle, right? So sex is not a gift. And oftentimes women use sex as a gift. Oh, I want to show my man some appreciation. So let me drop my drawers, or let me drop down and get my eagle on, and that'll be enough. So first of all, this is the first point. That's not enough. Okay, sex is not a gift. It's a mandate. You got to do it. Because if you don't, your husband's probably going to be looking at somebody else, or he's probably going to cheat on you at some point, and vice versa. It's not for a male to a female. It's not a gift, and it can't be treated like it's a gift, because if it is treated like it's a gift, then you can rest assured that somewhere along the line, it's gonna get muddled, and your spouse is gonna start finding other people attractive because of the way you approach sex with them. So if you approach it from the standpoint of, oh, you should be happy I'm even giving you some, or girl, I got that bomb. You know what I'm saying? You're automatically put in a demonstrative mind state and mind frame of sex, in the mind of your spouse, and they're not going to enjoy it. It's gonna get boring. It's gonna get bland. It's gonna get really not fun and enjoyable at all. Okay, so the first thing about this that I want to kind of touch on you guys with is specifically for the women, because you guys do this more so often than men do. Sex is not a gift. It's not a gift. So stop using it as a gift. If you're complaining about how your husband is performing in the bedroom, you may want to look at how you're actually, discussing sex, how you're actually approaching sex, how you're actually, are you paying attention to what he's enjoying about sex with you, whatever the case might be, and you also want to pay particular attention to the very detail of, are you using sex as a gift, something that you don't have to give, but you give it out of, pity or whatever? Or are you looking at sex as a mandate of marriage, something that I have to do for you, in order to make sure you stay in our bed, in our house, and you don't start venturing out trying to find what you're missing here. Okay, so point number one, stop using sex as a gift. Okay, all right. Point number two is sex is more than just an act. It's more than just laying down with someone, getting aroused, and having the big bang. Right? There's more to it than that. Sex is for a marriage is the intertwining of two people and their souls coming together and connecting on a higher plane. And if you can't, and I teach this to a lot of the kids that I come in contact with who are young and who are trying to explore their sexuality or whatever the case might be. I tell them, especially my guys, man, you can't get any closer to a woman than inside of her. That's the closest, and that's the closest you can get. Like it don't get no closer than that. You're literally inside of her. That you don't. It doesn't get any closer than that. So if you think that you can have sex and not have feelings attached to it, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. It's not possible. It's not possible to have sex and not have some type of feeling or emotion attached to it. And let me say this and let me be clear about this. If you have suppressed the feeling, that doesn't mean that the feeling never existed. I'll say it again. If you have suppressed the feeling, that does not mean that the feeling does not exist. Okay? It exists. You just found a way to ignore it. Okay? You can't have sex without feelings. So for a married couple, it's important that you have sex because it brings you together on another level. Okay, and now all of a sudden things that would have pissed you off, they don't really piss you off no more. Now you look at it like it's really not that big of a deal. All right, so just those 2 points, ladies, stop using sex as a gift, and fellas and ladies, understand sex on a different level. It's more than just an act. It's more than just you laying down with your wife or you laying down with your husband and doing something strange for a little piece of change. It's more to it than that. It's you have feelings and emotions involved in it, and it's important that you understand where your spouse is coming from when in those moments. You need to understand, how are you feeling about me in this moment? Is this some makeup booty, or is this, you just really wanted to go there? You see what I'm saying? So think about that. The next time, your husband tap you on the shoulder or make a move on you and you deny him, think about what you're doing, because, in essence, what you're doing is you're giving him a free pass to say, all right, well, let me see what else is out here. And vice versa. So, again, point number one, sex is not a gift. Point number two, sex is a mandate. And I strongly suggest that you review that mandate, and understand it from that perspective so that you can enjoy sex. And I'm going to give you this one for free, right? Do something fun. Okay, so if me and my wife in our book, we talk about us taking a trip to the sex store. Now that would be like taboo to a lot of you Bible thumping, just hardcore Jesus on the main line Christians. It's really gonna challenge you. But guess what? If I'm not willing to step out on a limb and do something out of the ordinary with my wife, somebody else will be, and vice versa. So you have to really be willing to step out there and get out there and keep it spicy and keep it enjoyable, so that your spouse enjoys sex with you. Okay? All right. So that's like sex 101. All right. So I hope it helped you. Hope it blesses you. And be on the lookout for some more content coming soon. I hope you guys are having good marriages. I hope you're enjoying life. Be happy, be in love, be married. Best Friends Book. Peace.
What love really was. But they tried their best to make each other smile, but while learning themselves